Hi, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of season 2. Sorry, that just still has such a nice ring to it. And as you'll notice by the dates, it's actually the same day. So I've just been having a whole lot of fun doing these recordings today, and especially now that they're all like half an hour. I mean, I've got like two upload. Anyways, I will calm down, but I just feel like there's so much that we can get out and really get going with season 2. And basically sum up everything I did talked about in season 1. That way, it's just kind of more organized and more structured. Like, and by all means, you can go back and look at the older videos. Same with pretty much everything I'm doing. Because now that like I'm finally nailed down, I mean, because it just took me a while for like adjusting these musings, and that's another benefit of doing this. Um, Also, real quick, something that was so season 1, this small hallway. Sorry, trying to sound like Waddles. Like, and I really need to start throwing his link in here. Like, he's awesome. Like, I don't know. But anyways, as far as Minecraft videos go, and if you watch a lot of Minecraft YouTube, you probably already know about him. But anyways, he says stuff like that. So I'm going to. No, I mean that's not the reason. I just think it's funny. But I am going to adjust the width of this. Oops. Hallway. At least one. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do yet, but I'm going to go ahead and, well, tear it down. So while we're doing that, we're going to try to sum up everything I can remember from the other musings that I've made. All right, here we go. So most recently, kind of working like a stack, like popping and everything. I was talking about law enforcement and corrections and how, like, it's a system. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a system, but it could be much better with much more efficiency and less headache for everyone all around, actually, if we worked more on rehabilitation of the common person for just about everything. Like I constantly have to look this up because I always forget if it's like Sweden or Denmark or one of those countries over there that like I haven't even been to the area yet, but like hopefully one day. But anyways, for now it's just like what I've heard and seen, like which isn't much. But what I have heard is that there is a country that their prison system, even I want to say even if you murdered somebody, you go to rehab and then it's only a couple of years and then you're back in society and it works. Like it's just a great. Now granted, I mean, there's a different environment you could say, so there's that argument like, oh yeah, so it works for Sweden but not for, and I'm pretty sure it's not Sweden. I want to say it's like Scandinavia. I don't know, but anyways, I would Google it out or Google search it if you so desire. So, oh, and actually, I need to set an alarm. So we're at 3 minutes. So, because we got to do better. All right. So, bada bing. Okay. We're at 3 minutes. So, Jesus, math. This is so 15, 8:15. Yeah? Yes. Okay. So, 8:15. All right. And that gives us enough time to probably do this whole project. Like, I'm really just going to extend it. Like I'm thinking, and that's the other thing. I brought a bunch of stone, but now that I'm looking at this, if I just dig out the middle layer of the next wall, like section, like this, then I could save the hassle and the cost of all those stacks of stone blocks, which I'm still cooking more. You can achieve those of two ways. Oh, so like right there. Yeah, let's and then I was gonna say I think that was like at least and then out. I don't know. Not a huge deal. If you if you've been following along, like we do have a lot of emeralds. We can get a lot of emeralds very quickly. But yeah, that's actually why I started crawling there, or crouching there, because you can't fall off if you're crouching. Which I didn't know that. For the longest time, I was trying to. Whenever I try to build staircases up, like I'd have to build supports, go all the way from the ground and like tower up. And then once I realized, oh, well, you could just crouch and you don't fall. Then I could start bridging over lava and all this stuff. And like my actual use of this game was greatly, vastly expanded. So, anyways, that's worth noting. That's a great season 2 thing. But anyways, yeah, season 1, we talked about behavioral and psychological problems and problem solving in regards to people, or the behavioral problem solving and the psychological problem solving as an addition to current law enforcement and corrections. So there's that like long, lengthy tile mission statement with that, whatever. That's just what my main area of focus is, and it's in regards to cybersecurity. So let's get that clear too. I did a boot camp in cybersecurity from CSU. It was the first one because they understand the growing demand for cybersecurity experts, first of all, and professionals and still beginners, mind you, but we are professionals. We got the certificate, so, and I actually passed the practice tests, which I know doesn't matter. I mean, anyone worth their salt in tech actually has certificates. Not really. I mean, for a variety of reasons, if you can't afford them at the time or whatever, if it's not necessary. Like currently, it's not necessary, but I do plan on getting some. But at the same time, anyways, currently I passed the practice test for a couple certs in security, and I have a certificate, which is different than a certification. There you go. And that's some of the career advice too. And that's actually what we did, I think, just now in the season 2, episode 1 was talk about career advice and how I did a Jamboard on that. So, all right, yeah, I like that idea. I'm gonna just carve this out and make this a nice, quick project. If we want to change it later, we can, but we definitely do not have to. And then I just have to patch wherever the wall isn't. So see, like it's gonna just look like that all the way down, and just give us a little breathing room when we're, constantly going back and forth. So do that. Actually, copper, yeah, copper and dirt really. So, but anyways, so yeah, I intend to do with these videos everything I can for education from elementary school, alphabet, cursive, maybe all the way up to higher education. I mean, geology, like all the ologies and stuff. Like, I did a lot of sociology, psychology, anthropology, just like people studies for my electives in school. So, did a lot of computer programming, problem solving, and a lot of people investigation and problem solving, I guess is the best way to put that, because we really do study history in the hopes of affecting the future. So, oh, and I don't have water. That's okay. Like, oh, actually, oh, we're gonna have to edit that out. I'm gonna, here we go. When in a pinch, just drink the kids' water. All right. Although you got to be careful with that. Like, I mean, water bottles, yeah, that's one thing, but I've seen some serious backwash, and it goes right back to the Cringe Chronicles. All right, that is something we did this season, completely unrelated to my job search help. And apologies if that is what you're here for. Is like, that is part of. It's a mixed bag. Like, I'll be teaching. And I'll do separate streams to actually like teach like just specifically certain things. But when I do these musings, I fully plan on just randomly blurting out facts and tidbits, but with the caveat that, I mean, at any given time, I might have to edit something out or uh, just clarify something. Actually, this is a dumb idea. Like, I just realized I need to make sure that the floor is everywhere. Already, I don't. Oh, okay. It's like, I don't think I have enough of these emerald blocks, but that's right, because that was just one stack. So, and then make sure. I think I'm good all the way through, but I do not want to fall in a ravine. Anyways, yeah, so we do these Minecraft things, talk about Minecraft mechanics. See, that was, never mind. Oh, I see what happened there. I was like, that didn't. I mean, I should have really just filled in all of, yeah. There's kind of. This is what I was looking for, and even this, that's not bad. So we can just patch that up, not fall to our deaths, and not that we would have anyway. And here we go. So anyway, so yeah, that's my backstory. My profession is systems administrator in IT for higher education, and I have a passion for cybersecurity, is a way to also phrase it. But basically, yeah, I have a degree in applied computing technologies, which is, oh yeah, see, I don't have enough, which means somewhere along the way, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks either went missing down a hole, or yeah, that's all right. So Anyways, yeah. So computer science. I did a lot of computer science classes basically, but with like an IT focus, and with international business as a capstone class, and business administration minor. Just kind of like a hybrid degree that CSU was already introducing as like an alternative to just computer science. And I don't know how old it is, but that's how it was explained to me. It was like there's also a GPA requirement for computer science, so and that was like part of what deterred me, to be if we're being honest. But um, yeah. Oh, and yes, we deal with a lot of llamas and wandering traders, and we try to procure coral, uh, these things, nautilus shells, yeah, and then maybe not yellow dye. I don't know. We've got emeralds for days, but that's pod's oil, and then what is this? Moss. All right, so now I need to make room for the leads. Let's make sure I know where they're at. Oh, that is so risky because if I oh, where's the other one? Oh, I think I see it. If I accidentally smack a villager, um, then those fellows wouldn't be too happy with me. So, anyways, sorry, and I completely derail. So that is part of the musings. These are videos for gathering thoughts, organizing how I want to like present things, and then I'll actually do the Jamboard videos. Oh no, we, all right. Oh, yeah, we can, oh, nice. Sorry, just because they will break if like there's enough strain, and I just need them to survive or need it to stay together till over here when I can put them in the gathering point for Llama Lounge version 2, 2.0. Because I already have a basic Llama Lounge in the other. Oh, we should go see that. I mean, what's the season 2 kickoff without? There you go. Without some explanation of all the llamas, because you're going to be seeing a lot of llamas, and the Emerald Pyramid, which yes, we are getting really close to finishing that. So, and it is hollow currently, but I plan on either putting some inner rooms and lighting and such. But yeah, I was just we have a couple of emeralds for spare if I needed to ever buy anything. So, and then this one I did put rooms in, so or at least a walkway, a catwalk, which you can't fall off on the edge, which you can fall off in the middle. And then I'm gonna keep like probably burrowing it out. I don't know, maybe even continuing to go, but at this point I'm also thinking about just making a third emerald pyramid. And then there's also the fire pyre or the fire pillar, the pyre of fire, whatever you want to call it, with these glass, which you can still hurt yourself, so don't touch the corners. But you can use glass, panes of glass, to just put like little tubes here, like little, uh, not cylinders because it's all blocks, but little rectangles here, floating rectangles. So it's like the Fifth Element stuff. So any of you '90s kids. So, anyways, by the way, oh, listening to '90s music on the radio, yeah, I am getting old, but now I definitely understand why, people listen to the '80s, the '70s, the '60s, etc. Like I remember my first bosses were a married couple that owned Kay's Dairy Delight up in Buena Vista. There you go, some OSINT right to begin with. But anyway, so I worked at Kay's, and my bosses played like I want to say 50s and 60s music, but I'd have to check to be sure. And actually, Charlie passed away a while ago, and I don't know how Lois is doing. But and actually, oh shoot, I don't have. I have all sorts of mess of stuff. But anyways, my point being is they were all about that music, and they were all about that kind of um, yeah. So, and people might look at him funny, be like, "Wow, that's kind of cute, haha." Because like what else was important with that was or significant was that K's you didn't get a number for your order, you got a famous person's name, and this famous person, ah, oh no, uh, there we go. That's all right. Sorry, I just really hate bouncing back and forth with those. I've had some issues with that. So, but anyways, yeah. So you got the name of a famous person, like an actor, comedian, movie star. I don't know about TV because it just wasn't that time, and like Anyways, and so people would come in, and that was like the gimmick. So, and then I say that, and then like my parents were all about the '80s and stuff, and then and I'm all about the '90s, all nostalgic, and I'm sure kids today. Oh man, kids today. I feel so old, but anyways, the point of all that is I can understand, I can relate, and that it's that frame of reference that's so important when understanding any culture, any demographic, any subgroup of humanity. And that's kind of what like sociology. That's the study of people, and that's where my professor was awesome. He was like, and again, I don't know how much I can divulge, but this one story he told us was like, he had a friend who infiltrated the Hell's Angels, basically, and for science and research purposes. Like, I mean, I'm sure he was actually still like, I don't know, somewhat. I don't know, because that's very bold, and like, and I know his identity was still protected just in case, but honestly, I think he like reported on it fair and without or with discretion to where like he didn't want to wrong anybody, but and that's important. It's like when you're studying other cultures or subgroups, well, first off, be careful. I mean, don't go joining any prison gangs or anything. Like that's just ridiculous. Like, and you don't have to. I mean, you can actually interview any prisoner or any inmate. And sorry, and that's the other thing too. I almost wonder if there's like a, because I know if I was in prison, I wouldn't want to be called a prisoner or inmate. And I know that they call the offenders inmates and offenders, inmates and offenders, I think. But, but anyways, and that's the other importance of, yeah, let's get some terms out of the way for season two. So the irrelevancy and relevancy of labels and pigeonholing. Now, those are a couple of concepts I came up with for preventative blue teaming, which means preventative maintenance on as a cybersecurity aspect for people problems or solving problems with people, social problems. So, and also let's see, and the preventative nature being like because we focus on social engineering and human training after the fact, and that's why I say whack-a-mole because it's the same with cybersecurity. Whenever there's a breach, then there's tons of money thrown at security, and then it's also let's do some extra training. And honestly, like a lot of insurance companies are making it mandatory to do some kind of official class in some kind of capacity. Um, so actually, at my work, and I do IT, I teach cybersecurity like kind of regularly, like randomly. I mean, well, not regularly. Like I'll post something that's, and not just me, my entire team is doing it because there is such a concern, and so, and I'll be doing some videos on, well, actually, I'll do some videos on setting up like multi-factor authentication on certain accounts, like opening new email accounts, creating email domains, Google domains, sorry. But there's actually a lot of people already out there doing that. So, I mean, if you're interested in that, definitely like go check some of that out. Let's see, where should I? I just need to dump some of this. I need some extra like empty chests. But anyways, yeah. So I'm just saying like rather than reinventing the wheel for now, because I did just say that the reason I like to make these videos is because practice makes perfect, but you really well, how it was told to me in that boot camp. So that was one of the really valuable things. And, it was like less than, yeah, you'll find it on the site, less than 10 grand with the grants, but it was pretty expensive. And I had to get a personal loan for that. So that is something to be aware of. However, so it doesn't count as student loans, but it's not that bad, especially, once you find a good career job and that's stable, then yeah, it's actually not that big of a deal to pay that back. And I've heard some scary things about student loans in general. So, and then again, that's like why I try to make these tools is just for the people that can afford a college education, have an equal opportunity at tech careers. And really, what it comes down to for a lot of companies is if you can code. And they just want to see proof of coding, like a GitHub, and they want Code Wars, and they want Coding Game, and that's why Coding Game is so popular. And I left that out in last season, because Coding Game's business model is where the user doesn't pay, that shows off their skills. The employers pay if they want to use the skills for recruitment purposes, and then oh, and shoot, and actually I think I need to toggle that because I put on there that I was seeking work, and I didn't get reached out to because honestly, I understand like for well, I didn't have much of a spectacular record, let's just put it that way. There's some coders on there that have like some excellent, like they can do neural networks, and you should definitely go check out that community and join their Discord if you're serious about getting into a tech career. But and that's for IT and software, by the way. Like any tech career, it's good to know how to code. You almost need to. You still need to be able to script things, especially like, operating system specific scripting like Bash for Linux and PowerShell for Windows. Just being able to navigate the terminals and coding game coding wars, and there you go. Like if you have those qualifications, then you're eligible for potentially an entry level stuff, and especially an intern. You're definitely eligible for an intern position if you have, medium profiles on coding game and code wars. So like Code Wars, it's blue, and then Coding Game, it's like a bronze, like a brown. I don't know. I think I'm like level 12 or something. And honestly, it should be higher if you're going for software developer. Because I was actually more going towards IT. I wanted to get into IT rather than software. So that's why it's still good to have. And I have written code for work. So it's definitely like Python specifically, which I do have that coding game tutorial, and I have the tutorial already, and I marked it in the comments about what time the actual Python starts. And YouTube actually does this thing where if a video gets enough views, it'll automatically, I mean, and that's the best guess I have, is it'll automatically segment the video to where things change. But anyways, you can just skip along until I'm starting to actually talk about it. But that video is really long intentionally because I want you to be able to follow along and build your own playground, which is what they call tutorials on coding game. And then once you build a playground, then you're really eligible for like a coding or IT. I mean, especially if you're teaching. So I have a C++ one, a Java one, and a Python one. But honestly, I only figured out how to get the Python to run in the browser. So that's key because the development environment is really horrible for trying to get into tech. Like if you're trying to learn how to program, you have to get comfortable with not knowing if it'll run on your machine or if you need some special packages downloaded, some extra modules or whatever. Like, there's a lot of headache that's ahead of you. Except for if it's browser based, which coding game is. All the coding is right there in the browser. Same with Code Wars, actually. Now that I think about it, like, because you do the coding in the browser and then it checks to see if you're correct. And once you pass the test cases, then you get, it's green, good to go, or whatever indicator. And then you get recorded, or you get to see all the different codes. In fact, actually, I might try to do the coding game one tonight. I know I'm uploading a ton of videos, but these are the Minecraft musings. And then if I get a coding game, or sorry, Code Wars, I want to start a whole new account and just start fresh. And then, because basically, the tactic is you knock out all the low-hanging fruit of the white challenges, and white is their easy ranking, and then it goes up to orange for their next level, and those are still definitely doable. I mean, they are harder sometimes. I mean, sometimes I feel like the rating is a little skewed, but like some are easier than they should be and some are harder than they should be. But anyways, and like where are we at? Oh, all right, 7 minutes. So anyways, um, but yeah, so I might do that tonight, and and then the blue is the next level, and those I've only done a handful of those. I've done several gold, like hundreds of white, and I'm a blue rank, and it took me forever, mind you, because and one of my proudest, my favorite code. Oh yeah, let's talk about that Sudoku. So yeah, this will be a mixture of behavioral and psychological problem solving, and then also some actual code mumbo jumbo. So. And I did all this in Python, mind you. You can do it in any, or no, I think I did some also in Java. Anyways, whatever. Most of it was in Python. And so, and actually I posted every last problem to my GitHub. Not saying to go cheat. I mean, actually you can see the answers that other people provided on Code Wars. And maybe I should hide that on my GitHub just until I do the video. And then but then I'll do the video, and then you can follow along and do every last single one, because I plan on doing like, I don't know, like 100 white challenges, and then maybe 50 orange, and 2 blue. Honestly, I haven't done that many blue, and the ones that I've done, like I'd be comfortable redoing those, but In fact, one I'd really want to because basically it was a formatting issue that caused me to have several pages of code that I didn't need, and I was hard coding for all these different situations when I just realized, oh, it's only dependent on one, two, or three things, and then if I have them in a list, which is a data structure in Python, similar to an array, or it is an array, and you can have a list of anything, whereas in Java, you have to do an array of ints or an array of chars, an array of strings, or an array of arrays, and that's all a string is it's an array of chars. Anyways, that'll make more sense if you hop over to the learning computer science section. This is just the musing, but we will talk about it. So Sudoku, one of my favorite mind puzzle games. Well, I also like MC Escher puzzles and all that stuff, and that's what I grew up doing. But now, like kids today have like you know really intricate games and problem solving and like all this stuff. So that's my soapbox there. But as far as Sudoku, it's a game of, for those that aren't familiar, you've got nine squares of nine subsquares, so nine grids of nine squares, and it's kind of like a waffle pattern. And within each nine of the nine big squares, you have to organize the nine mini squares inside it and number them one through nine. And then you also can't have any in the same row or any of the same column. And so I actually blew right past the first rule, which was you have to have one through nine in each uh, in each subgrid. So, and I wasn't testing for that. And there was a test case, only one test case, mind you. So it was weird. And I think Code Wars did it on purpose. But it tests to see if you just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row, and then the next row you start at 2 through 9, and then 1 at the end, and you just slowly make it like and that's a circular array actually, where kind of like think of it as like a marquee of letters, like the old school Roaring Twenties, like lights on the marquee, where they like kind of walk. Or no, they also have it New York downtown. See, I've never been to New York or even really that part of the country, but they have the marquee banner that goes around the building in Times Square. And anyways, that's what it's like. So anyway, God, what was I even describing now? So anyway, yeah, circular arrays, which are kind of hard to wrap your mind around, but that's important for concepts like quick search, which is like, or pivot search. They're synonymous, um, or they're the same. No, hominis sounds the same. See, I even trip up with my grammar. Like, I don't remember that stuff. Like, and I type exactly like I speak too. And I don't know if it bugs people, like, or it depends on who I'm talking to. But I'll start my sentences with and because, and I don't care. Like, it's like, it's how I talk. I'm not gonna, yeah. So, anyways, that's my little soapbox on that. But Sudoku. So once I figured out that it was testing for each subgrid to contain the numbers 1 through 9, I wrote a test case for that, and then I made it fail in that chance that it hit that. So problem solved. Spent like a good few hours trying to figure out what was going on. And mind you, that's not hours sitting still in front of the computer at a time. It was like I would get up, walk around, because that's what I suggest, whenever people are trying to code something, is you go talk to a rubber duck or you go for a walk. And actually, walking and exercise has been proven to increase blood flow to the brain, which means you're easier able to have good ideas. uh, and I'm really dying. I need to go get some like actual water, but that's okay. This one's almost over. Um, Not to sound like that, but yeah, I don't know. Just really excited about these shorter ones, and yeah, I want to go do that Code Wars thing. Maybe I'll try to do that. If not, I will do it at some point soon, because that is like, if you can follow along with that, and mind you, it's going to be a few hours, and that's what I say to people is like, I sat in several hundreds, if not several thousands of hours of lecture to understand computers the way I do. So it's no easy task, and I don't expect anyone to have the same level of understanding. However, if you sit through like several tens of hours, oh, there's the alarm. So, all right, and that's almost my time anyway. It's like, yeah, I was off by a half a minute, which I kind of figured was the case. So, anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Welcome to season 2. All right, ladies.